What you are about to see is probably one of the most entertaining games of Age of Empires 2 I've ever played. This game had it all and was super hilarious. So, the map is Steppe and it's a 3v3 ranked game. So, decent setup. I'm playing in the green as the Cumans, and in the blue we have, let me pull up our little stats page here, my bad. We have Capital playing as the Teutons in the blue, and my other teammate is Custos playing as the Portuguese in the teal. So Cumans, Portuguese, and Teutons are definitely not the greatest combination of civs, but we'll see how it plays out. So I'm at Steppe. You start with kind of a nomad start. You get 6 yurts to yourself. So I put my TC back up against my wood line, and I just start trying to see if I can't get myself booming and getting up to the feudal age rather quickly. So our opponents are Huevo. He is playing in the red as the Franks. In the yellow, we have Zay playing as the Mayans. And we have Smywolf playing as the Mongols in the purple. So every player in this game was super respectful. They played an amazing game. Shout out to all of them. They were super fun to play with. So this was just a randomly match-made game. This was not planned out. These were just the teammates I rolled with. So Teutons in the blue. I mean, Teutons are certainly an excellent civ to play in almost any scenario. Your options in the late game are phenomenal. Your paladins are always super good. Teutonic knights can be good in certain scenarios, but their lack of speed definitely makes them a little bit weak. And you have excellent siege. Everything looks great for the Teutons late game. So the issue is going to be getting them to the late game. Now in the teal, Portuguese are a civ that doesn't really do anything particularly well, but not particularly bad at anything else. So Praetorias is pretty much the only option you got here. You do have organ guns, so I mean, mass gunpowder against a civ like Mayans and stuff like that. Anyone who Eagles, yeah, we have a direct counter for that in Portuguese, basically. So definitely not a bad setup here for both teams. I mean, Mongols, Franks, and Mayans are certainly not a terrible combo to go with. No one really benefits off each other too much, but everyone's kind of got kind of an so-so team combination, and everyone's got off to a pretty decent start. So I promised you that this would be probably the most hilarious game you've ever seen, and it's certainly going to be up there for you. So don't go anywhere. Trust me, this game is just absolutely awesome. So before this game, I have to get this out of the way. My two teammates were randomly picked, as I said before, and they were quite chatty beforehand. So, I mean, they were, even before the game started in the chat, they were just, what's the plan going to be? What are we going to do here? So, just kind of like, hey, you guys, come on, wait. We don't even know who our opponents are yet. We need to let's base this off what civs we're doing. So we see what civs we rolled with. And, I mean, Cumans for me, Cumans are just they're my best civilization by far. I can play way above my elo as the Cumans. They're just so, so good. I just love them to death. They're my favorite civ, hands down. So, as the Cumans, I have a ton of options. I can go for second TC in the Feudal Age. I have Kipchaks. I have Siege open to me in Feudal Age. I have a ton of options. So, my Feudal Age is going to look super, super strong, and my goal is I'm trying to get there as fast as possible, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do with my second TC. I mean, I've got gold and stone out here that are relatively close together. Everything's looking great. So, alright. So, game's pretty standard early on, and I'm just going to speed things up here for just a little bit until we get to where people start coming in the chat here. So, I mean, I had a very good Dark Age here. Everything went pretty smoothly. Food was a little iffy for me. I got housed once, which wasn't ideal, but, it worked. So, like I said, decent start, and I love Steppe for Cumans because you have all these extra resources, and you can certainly make things work. So, Teal puts in the chat, well, and here's where it gets interesting. So, I mean, in a game where you have random teammates, it's just very rare to see good communication. So I just kind of put in the chat, you know what, I'm going to go forward and try something weird with purple. And, I mean, when you should get very concerned if you ever see me in an Age of Empires game and I say, I'm going to try something a little weird. So, I mean, blue's like, going to rush him? And, I mean, actually, yes, I am going to rush him, but I'm not going to do an archer rush. I'm not going to go for scouts or anything. I am simply going to try to go forward and put a town center right in the middle of his resources just to deny them from him and slow him down. Because I was noticing at this point in the game that the Mongols player had the highest score on their team, and just off this map in general, Mongols having their hunting bonus, just the fact there's so much deer out here in the middle, that to me means that there's going to be some huge issues if I let them get to that. So purple goes forward, and he starts walling. Now, I scouted him out earlier. Blue helped me scout him out a little bit too. And at this point, I mean, he is just, I mean, like a couple tiles away from seeing that wall. So I have no idea the wall is there. I don't know what he's doing. So I can just now click up the feudal. I'm like, all right, guys, let's try to keep this together. I think we can make this work. So, like I said, I don't know his wall's going up there, but I'm still going to try to go forward with a TC in feudal age. And I know that when I try to go for a TC in the feudal age, I mean, I'm putting my economy at some pretty big strain here because I'm going to be sending a ton of villagers forward. It's going to be really hard to balance my economy at home. So no one had any clue that purple was walling, and teal honestly did a great job. He scouted out red very nicely, and red went heavy on the gold in Dark Age. And the interesting thing is that he's not even clicked up to Feudal Age yet. He has more villagers on gold than he does on food, which is just, I mean, if you're in Dark Age, it's not what you want to do unless you yourself are trying something stupid crazy. So as the Franks having that many on gold, unless he's going for some insane play with knights and castle age with like 6 stables where he's just be mass producing them just non-stop, there's really no reason to have this many on gold in the Dark Age. So I send a ton of villagers forward. I sent forward 12 villagers just to see if I couldn't get pressure on purple. So purple arrives in feudal age just before I do, and I put my TC there not knowing that his wall was there. So I go forward and I'm like, crap, he's got a wall there, that's not going to work. So I delete it, and purple's obviously seen my villagers there, and he was thinking, all right, he's going for something. So I back up and I'm like, you know what, just because there's a wall there doesn't necessarily mean I have to give up on this. So, I was running my villagers back, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm putting a TC in his face. I'm still going to be annoying. And the best part about this is, I mean, sure, he does have a little 4 pile of stone back there, but, I mean, his 2 stones that are kind of close to his TC are right here. So I'm trying to make sure that I can at least get the Mongols off of some stone. So this is just going to be an absolute annoyance because I notice he's got the highest score lead. He's, 280 points ahead of me at this point in the game. So I'm like, okay, we have to deal with the Mongols because if I allowed him to come forward and start taking his deer, he could have been able to go for a super fast castle and start pumping out units and they would have won the game. So TC goes up, and when you're building it with 12 villagers in the feudal age, it goes pretty smoothly. So I was looking back at my economy at home, which sadly is pretty terrible, honestly. This is not what you want to see. Idols, just 3, it's a disaster, don't talk to me about it. But I go forward with my villagers, and I put a tower next to my TC because a tower is, I just want something else there that has some range to it. So I take out his palisades here, and he's thinking I'm trying to come in for him. He's thinking I'm going to go and destroy his base, but in all honesty, I just want to come forward and take a stone. I'm just going to play mind games with him. I don't want to be too aggressive with him. I'm just going to take a stone. So put a tower up here, and he builds his own counter tower, which that's honestly the play. I do not blame him for doing that. That's exactly what you need to do. If your opponent comes forward and tries putting stuff in your face, build a tower and try to. So okay. He gets himself a tower. And, we got teal doing his own thing down there. He's won. But blue, I did not see this. Blue sends a villager forward and starts knocking down his palisade wall. So, interestingly enough, blue's going to be able to get through here because purple's not paying attention. So, purple starts going for militia, and it's honestly a weird choice to me. So I kept trying to get some stone out of that, but I realized that's not going to work. So I just garrisoned my villagers in my TC. I got towers exchanging there, and my goal at this point is just get his tower down and buy yourself some more space. So, okay, whatever. And, teal was doing a fantastic job down here. He was going for scouts, and red was not even to the feudal age at this point. He's only 18% of the way there, and it's just because he has so many on gold, which is why his score is so high. So, alright, I go forward, and my towers are doing some good work here. And purple is not paying attention to blue. Blue is going to go forward and tower his wood line, and he's not going to do a thing about it because he's so focused on trying to make sure he's dealing with me. So, I did not realize this at the time, but this was actually an amazing play for me to do. So he repairs his tower. We're gonna go through the whole thing of you repair your tower, I repair my tower, and this is how this is gonna go. And the entire time he's building militia, because if he gets militia and he upgrades the man-at-arms can be somewhat good at dealing with towers. But again, I built a tower back here just to make sure I have something in range in case I can garrison my village. I want something there that I can just fire some extra arrows over a longer range. So I send my villagers forward, and I'm like, I'm not repairing mine. I want to get some damage on yours. Let's play this way. So I try my hardest to see if I can just get something going with that tower, and not quite. And I did manage to get garrison at the last second, and he sends his man-at-arms forward thinking he's going to deal with me and get my tower down, but my TC there, his man-at-arms don't have a chance. He has to run. And he has to run there. So, then he has a whole nother issue. Teuton Towers sitting right there. Teuton Towers are super strong. So, the Teutons are designed to do a tower rush. So the fact that he's having to deal with that now is just even a bigger pain to him. So now I am in an interesting situation. He's given up on this. This is all free space. This is free real estate for me. So, okay, I'm just going to keep taking his stone because I'm going to use towers to keep denying him space. So he realized that, blue was there finally, and he'd have to move his villagers off of wood. He builds a new lumber camp up here. And, he starts walling up back here. And this is just super weird. So this is where it gets strange. Red just has, one random villager over by his ally. Everyone does that. You always put one random villager out in the middle of nowhere so you can be like, you know what? One idle just to have mercy on my opponent, so that way they don't think I'm doing too well. So I just, keep knocking out palisades, buying myself more room to go after his stone. So, okay, front line's looking great for me. And he's like, you know what? I'll send my man-at-arms forward. So he's just building them up. He goes for his magic number of 6, and he thinks he's going to do something with this. And, he could. It all depends what he wants to do. So I was super focused on what this was doing right here. And at home, I was working on my economy a little bit, but it's still bad. So I'm doing some pressure here, and Blue's like, you know what? Let's put even more pressure on this guy. So I would have loved to have seen Blue put the castle way in here, but he puts a castle on this wood line, which is still an amazing play to go for. So he's going to deny him this gold. I'm denying him this gold, and the only gold he has is way back here. So Red's still doing his usual thing, you got to put 2 random idols out in the middle of nowhere, far away from your base, because that's how you help people. And Blue's castle's going up. Purple's not going to get near that. So now Purple's in a weird spot. He went from being a super big threat to us to now this is just getting awkward. So I got 3 towers up now, and at home I was going for a blacksmith so I get fletching in just so I can get some extra range on these things, but I was a little slow with that. So I go forward and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put this other tower up because I feel like, I can keep denying him space. And so he sees that tower and he realizes he needs as much space as he possibly can. He can't let that go. And I realize, all right, he has to react to this. This is right next to his barracks. He needs to do something about this. So he instantly builds new barracks in the back, which is a decent play. And, okay, fine. Everything's still looking good. I see his man-at-arms come forward. He pops out another one, and I send my villagers back, garrison, and I just clean up these man-at-arms. So he thinks going forward here is a good play, but honestly, this is the worst thing you can do. Do not send your man-at-arms in when there's 3 towers here. Towers will deal with your man-at-arms. So he can't go after that tower that's still in range, and he's only got 3 man-at-arms, 4 now, but it's just pathetic. So they keep trying to go forward and attack that tower, and they're not going to get it, no matter how hard they try. My towers here are too strong. That's not happening. So he finally realizes, all right, I got to back up. So this is just getting absolutely insane now. So we have castle from Blue here, and then Teal, instead of just doing nothing, he goes for a ton of scouts, and he gets some pressure in on Red. So Yellow shows up with eagles to kind of pressure his scouts, but it's just so weird. Portuguese are able to pressure Franks with scouts. Usually you see Franks players going for the scout rush, so this is just unprecedented, super weird stuff. So I build more towers. So I tower his gold, I tower his barracks, and I'm just like, all right. And here's where it just started to get ridiculous. Blue's like, what could I go for here? Teutonic Knights would just absolutely... one Teutonic Knight can take out all his man-at-arms easily. But what does he go for? He goes for Petards. So let's just Petard Purple down and just make sure he just goes down. So we got Petards coming in from blue, and this, I mean, blue literally just went for straight Petards. So he goes for that castle drop. He has tunes. I would have been going for, you know, Teutonic Knights, maybe something strong to send in here, but no, Petards. So okay, we're just gonna use Petards to take out all of his buildings and stuff. And I built a siege workshop right here because I'm like, fine, I'll just go use my, you know, I'll build battering rams to take out your town center. So all this is going on. Red's like, you know what? The play for me now is gonna be to build 4 stables out in the middle of the map, because why the heck not? And Teal has, I mean, upgraded scouts. He's looking fabulous. This is just great for him. So Red's going for towers, but really, the only thing about Teal was he held his own super well and he did a great job here. So, okay, now we have TC to deal with, and Purple's just still like, you know what? My answer is not to go to Castle Age and build a castle to defend myself. The play here has to be to build more man-at-arms. So he's just like, you know what? Time to go for more man-at-arms. And I'm just like, you know what? Build a mining camp on your stone over here. This seems good. So I click up the Castle Age, send in my rams. I'm like, fine, be more aggressive. And Blue comes forward with his little villager. I'm not sure what he's doing with that guy, honestly. I had no idea. And he's building stables, so Teutons going for knights and stuff. Super, super strong. So, okay, weird stuff. And again, Red's just got 2 villagers and a random lumber camp up here. You know, just you always want to have one separate lumber camp. So, Red builds scouts. Yeah, okay. His that many scouts is definitely a threat, but Teal does a great job of holding. So now Red finally has a force to work with. So that's okay. Kudos to Red. You know, you finally got yourself a good force to work with. So I send my battering rams forward, and Purple's like, well, crap. You know, I've got all these man-at-arms. I have to use them. So I send those forward, and, you know, Blue and I are in the chat the entire time. Yeah, you know, good job, man. Oh, good job to you, man. Oh, yeah, hey, good job. So we're just working with each other, and Blue's like, do I need to send you resources? What do you need? What do you need? So Blue is just helping me out. His Petards go forward. The Petards get some, you know, they get some damage on the man-at-arms, not too much. But this many towers here, this is exactly what I need. And the entire town center gets killed strictly because of Petards. So now Red's like, you know what? I'm going to send in scouts because that'll fix the issue. So his scouts go in, and I have 6 towers here. You're not going to do a thing against 6 towers with this many. I mean, 5 scouts with 3 men-at-arms. I mean, you're not doing a thing here. They can all cover each other. They're all fully garrisoned. Everything's looking great. So now we're just in a super awkward scenario. So Red just randomly got some scouts back here, and Purple must be thinking, what the heck happened? So Purple's like, screw it, I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. So we successfully managed to tower rush Purple and kill off most of his base with just Petards. So yeah, we're pros at this game. This is great. I mean, Yellow's definitely got a great base going. You know, he's got his archers, he's got his eagles. I mean, he's doing your standard Mayans play. But I mean, we just made Purple rage quit. I mean, I would be so mad if this happened to me. 2 people gang up on me. I get a castle on my woodline, towers all over my base, and all my buildings get taken out with Petards. So Red resigns because he's like, this isn't going well. I lost all my scouts. My resources aren't going well. And we're just laughing because we're just like, this is just stupid. And the amount of scouts that Teal had there at the end, just crazy stuff. So I loved playing with these guys. Super fun. So yeah, he had 19 scouts. That is just insane to go for in Feudal Age. That's going all in. So just stupid stuff. I'm like, you know what? I went forward with 12 villagers. A TC is being placed somewhere. I don't care if it works or not. So I was like, you know what? Let's put it all on the line. Let's see if we can make this game be something crazy. And sure enough, crazy it was. So I mean, if Yellow would have sent in this force here, he definitely could have done some damage against my towers. I think if he would have gone for the Elite Eagle upgrade, no, sorry, just Eagle Warrior upgrade, my bad. If he would have gone for Eagle Warrior and Castle Age with that basic armor upgrade, I think he could have definitely come in here and helped out Purple a little bit. But the fact that we just petarded down his town center and everything else is just, fun stuff. So just awesome game. I really love playing with these 2 guys. I mean, we're definitely no one in this match is particularly high elo or anything. It's just an average game of Age of Empires, but just super fun stuff all the way around. My home base was just disaster. But anyway, super, super fun game. I absolutely loved playing this one. This was the best game I've had in a while. Just super fun. Good laughs all the way around. No one was disrespectful or anything. Just super fun stuff. So, not a interesting timeline, really. Just, it's alright. But anyway, that about does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. And if you do, don't forget to like, subscribe to Master and Terror Gaming. And I'll see you all in the next one.